So I wanted to briefly talk about this concept of power. It's like a large concept overall over your life, but we have a struggle, like a tug of war with life over how much power we have over our own life. As I'm recording this, my nose is stuffy. I can't control that. I can do remedies to try to help that, but it's not gonna cure it right away. Can't control everything, so I don't have power in that sense. Um, I decided to record outside today. It's a beautiful day. Um, so of course, inevitably, there's gonna be like little insects and things crawling on my computer. I have no power over that. I was thinking about this today, and I think the more we try to demand power over our own lives, like can take control, by force, the more it backfires against us. The more often that life humbles us. If you try to surrender a little bit more and you know just flow with life, it becomes a little bit easier. If you demand less of life, you actually start to receive more. You become more like grateful for what you were receiving, rather than being so being in a mindset of scarcity all the time, always looking, searching for what's next. Sometimes you need to stop moving and be still. Stop where you are. The more you do that, the more you absorb what's around you, what you have now, what you didn't have back then. Compare that, you start to become a lot more grateful, a lot more pleased with life. It's all a perception that you manage within your own head. You have control over it. The more you need things outside of yourself, the more you're inevitably going to suffer. And these aren't concepts that, um, you know, I'm making up. They're just my own understanding of the different things I've been taught. This is just my perspective of life. You can choose to ignore it, discard it if you wish. But I genuinely believe that the more you try to tug with life, the more you're going to lose. Because life is always going to win. The forces of the universe are more powerful than what you can control. So just manage what you can control. Stay within that realm. If you zoom out of life, and get a higher perspective. I mean, like literally, if you get on a plane and you fly over a city and you see how big a city is, how many people there are in just a city, you'll see it's a blessing and it's a curse and a blessing. But you see how insignificant your own problems are. So try to take life less seriously. And this is advice for yourself as well. Every so often, when you feel like life is just taking you through, like you're a puppet on strings, try to just stop, slow down, listen to the sounds of life. A little cricket. I hear a little bit of static in here specifically. You can hear the birds chirping. You can hear the cars driving. You can hear the neighbors chatting. You can hear the different velocity that the cars are driving at. Velocities, I mean. You can hear the house settling. Another tip I would say, try to walk on grass barefoot more often. I know it's like a hippie thing. Some people might look at you weird. You've probably heard that there's benefits to it, but you don't know how true they are. Um, just try it, honestly. I enjoy it. I actually feel something, but it could just be in my own head. Again, it's all perspective. You decide what your perspective is. Perception is reality. This is a big thing that I'm gonna be talking about, perception. But if two exact instances happen to two different people, so the same instance happens, same exact instance happens to two different people, it can greatly affect them in many different ways. And that just has to do with everything else that life has to throw. Different perceptions, cultural biases, backgrounds, upbringings, that sort of thing. Today's my baby cousin's birthday. Don't ask me how old she's turning. I have too many of them. I'll find out later and I'll update you. But yeah, I have a lot of little cousins and I love them all to death. So I'm gonna go see them and I'll chat later. Goodbye.